Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to show you guys how to make this puff stitch slipper or booty or whatever you want to call it, and it's a really nice cushiony slipper. I've tried all the patterns for the ones that are done in half double and single crochet, and unless they're double stranded they really hurt my feet, and they just didn't stay on. They didn't work great for me. So I was just playing around today and was going to make a pair for myself and really liked how it was coming out. So I figured I'd do a video real quick. The only thing I don't like about it, it's worked like a hat from the top down, exact same way in puff stitches, and until you get about here in a spiral, and then from here you start to work in rows. So as you can see here, the puffs are stacked directly on top of each other, and then here they look a little more staggered. But once you have it on, because it stretches, you don't notice at all. And another thing that's cool about this stitch, once you stretch, it immediately goes back. But it's such an easy pattern, and all you need to know is how to do a puff stitch, and that's it. So let's get started. So what we're gonna do, let me zoom in, move my camera. Okay, what we're going to do is do our slip knot, however it is that you do your slip knot. Okay, and we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and I forgot to tell you, I'm using my 5mm crochet hook and worsted weight. You might want to use a smaller hook than what's recommended for your yarn because you want a tighter weave. Okay, so we chain 5. Now slip stitch into your first chain, pulling down on your circle. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to pull up on our yarn, and we're going to go immediately into a puff stitch. So yarn over, go into your loop, pull up 1, yarn over, go into your loop, pull up another, yarn over, go into your loop, pull up another. We're going to do this for a total of 4 times. And if you need, I'm going to try to put a tutorial for how to do a puff stitch in case this is too fast for you. So this is kind of assuming you pull it tight that you know how to do the puff stitch. Okay, so there's our first puff stitch. Now we're going to immediately go back in and work another. I'm trying to work over our tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through all of them, chain 1, move it over a little to make room, still working in the hole. We want a total of 5 puffs in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pull through all, and then chain 1 to secure it. Okay, so that's 3. We need 2 more. So let's move it over so we have room to do 2 more. Yarn over, work another puff. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then move over a little and work 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, pull through, chain 1. Okay, so how many? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can kind of give that a little pull, your tail. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're not going to slip stitch anything. We're just going to continuously work in a spiral. And normally in a puff stitch you do your puff, skip 1, do a puff, skip 1, but we're not. We're going to immediately go in to our first stitch. Okay, so normally you wouldn't work a puff stitch in there. This is where you would like close up your hat, but we're going to work one in there. Okay, so go right in here, you yarned over, now work your puff stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through, chain 1. Okay, now we want to work right into the very next one. Normally we'd skip that in a puff stitch, but no, we want to do an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through. Let me kind of straighten up my legs. Sorry, I'm sitting on my floor near the light. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Let me take a look at my slipper. Yeah, so I did 2 in every single, I did it in increase. So basically, every single stitch that you see, we're going to do a puff stitch, okay? Until we get back around. And if it helps you to place a stitch marker, go ahead. But you can always look at the bottom row and tell what you've done. So we're going to go immediately into the next one that we did really super tight and work a puff stitch. 1, 2, 3. This one I really did tight. It's just the first couple rows. Okay. Now go through all of them. Ooh, almost lost it. Chain 1. Go into your very next stitch, which is right there. Okay. Work another puff. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, yarn over, go into the very next. I need to find a better way to record so you guys can see and I can crochet comfortably. Four. To your very next one, work another puff. So we should have 10 when we're done. And if I'm working too fast for you, just pause me. One, 2, 3, 4. Very next one, which is right here. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. 4 times. Okay, very next one. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have just a few more. This is what it looks like so far. Again, puff stitch in the next. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I'm doing puff stitches, I'm constantly counting in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then here, see we have 2 in this, that's where we started. So here we're going to put 2, well, a puff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Run over, chain 1. Okay, so let me count what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, okay. Well, this is where we should have stopped, 10. So we went ahead and did 1 here, which is fine. But we're going to skip the very next one. So we're technically on round 3. We're, you know, in a spiral. So we're on round 3. We're going to skip this one and go into the next. Okay? And pull tight because we don't want a big hole between the two. So give it a nice pull. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now do another one with skipping. So skip this one and go into the next. I hope my battery didn't just die. Okay, do a puff stitch again. So we skipped over 2 spaces in the last 2. Okay, now here we're going to work in both of these. This is our increase. So 2 by themselves and then 2 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back down, go into the one very next to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Through. Okay, so we just did an increase. So here we want to skip and go into the next. Pulling tight so there's not a big gap. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Again, skip 1, go into the next, pulling tight, work a puff. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now skip 1, do 1 in the next, and then another 1 in the very next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 into the very next. That's our increase. 2, I can't stay in frame. 3, 4, fasten off. Okay, we're going to keep doing that till we come right back around. So skip the next one, go into the next, pulling tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 1, go into the next, 2, 3, 4. Okay, skip 1, go into the next. I need to figure out how to like suspend my camera over my desk or something. 3. So you guys can see what I'm seeing. Chain 1. Okay. So we did 3 by themselves. So now we're going to do an increase into the very next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it looks like we've come back around. Okay, so what you're going to do now, and this is the easiest part, we are just going to continue. We're not going to increase anymore because this is a big stitch. We're going to put one puff stitch into each puff at the top. Okay, so what you're going to do is every single one you're going to basically skip a chain. Okay, so here, well, here we need to work the top of the puff. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, skip that, and then work into the top of the puff. And you're going to do that for a while. You're going to get that till you get the height of the slipper that you want. And I did it for, let's see how many rounds I did it for. Ooh, wrong way. So I did it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, right now we're on the third. So I did it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more rounds. So just go around 7 times, putting one puff into each puff, and I'll meet you back. Okay guys, when you've come to where you think about the height of your foot, where you want it to go on your foot, mine comes about like little past midway on my foot. You can go ahead and stop, and this is what we have so far from just putting a puff stitch into a puff stitch. And because we're working in rounds, it's going to be a spiral. Okay, so this is where we left off. So that's what it's going to look like that. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to stop where I am, and this is going to be kind of like the front part of my booty. And then we're going to start working over to this side, and then back, and then forth. So we're going to be going in rows to get the back part of our slipper booty. So what we're going to do here, oops, my puff stitch came out. Let me redo that one. I can't see my hand from this angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, pull through all of them, chain 1. Okay, so here, let me find a way. Now from here we're going to turn our work. So just turn the whole thing around. Okay, now instead of chaining up or do anything like that, what we're going to do, let me zoom you in. Oh, I always do that, wrong way. What we're going to do is pull up. Okay, just pull up just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go back in to the top of our puff, which is right there. Okay, so we're pulled up, now we yarn over, go in. You see where I'm going in? Going in, pull up a loop, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yarn over, pull through all of them, and then chain 1. Okay, so we're going to go into our next puff stitch. Okay, remember we skipped that one, and we go into the loop directly above our puff. Okay, so yarn over, now go into the stitch directly above, yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, pull through all, chain 1. Okay, so skip that little guy and then work a puff above this one. 1, I hate that squeak. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, pull through all of them, And I knew that was going to happen. Alright, let me work this one really quick, okay? 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, it's the way, if you guys could see the way that I'm set up, you would laugh. You would laugh. Okay, so come back down, skip that one, working a puff into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull through all, chain 1, coming back down, skipping that one, run over, and do a puff stitch into your puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to try to get an even number. I don't know why I'm funny about numbers like that. So far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to come back all the way around. Alright, let's do a few more. I'll stay on, keep rolling, but you probably won't be able to see from this angle too well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've had entirely too much coffee. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over. Remember, just putting a puff stitch into a puff stitch. It's like double crochet. Only squishier. Okay. See how we're starting to get close to where we started? Now the closer you come together, the tighter of a fit you're going to have, the more snug it's going to be around your foot. And if you don't get it tight enough, you can always go around with single crochet when you're done. So, I'm thinking how I want. Let's zoom out. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Okay, this is the front of my slipper. Here's the sides. Okay, and we're going to continue working this part out by going back and forth. But you decide, you know, how many you want open. So here we have 1, 2, 3. I mean, if we do 2, that's going to look, I might close it off too much. You know what? Let me try it on. I'll be right back. Don't laugh at my feet, guys. Okay, so see what it looks like? It's come a little above where I wanted it to, but it looks fine. And this is leaving 3 stitches open. And if, like I said, we're just going to keep working the sides. And if this isn't enough, then we can go back around with single crochet. That's what it looks like so far. And it's cute. And it's breathable. And I love them. We can do all types of cute things with these. Alright, so let's continue on. So this is where we're at. The front. I almost pulled that out. So what we're going to do is what we did before when we started the new row. Let me get my hook in there. Okay, so we're going to pull up again. Get a little bit of height. Let me zoom in. I will get it one day, I swear. Okay, so we're going to pull up and then we're going to go back in to the same, to the same stitch. The top of this one, we're going back in it, okay? Just work a regular puff. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yarn over, pull through all of them, chain 1. Let me try to turn to the side. Okay, so we're going into the very next one. Okay, we worked right here, so we're going to work in here, the top of our puff. Okay, so yarn over, go in, pull the loop, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, pull through all, chain 1. Let's do that all the way across the row till we get to our other end, and I will meet you back. Okay, I'm coming up to the last puff, the end of our row. Okay, see here, we're gonna skip, and it looks a little funny. There's like 3 stitches, but we want to go into this very last V. See that? Right here. If I had a bobby pin, I could probably show you better. But kind of lean it forward, so we're skipping over 1, 2, and then we're going right into here. It just gives it a nicer edge, and then working your puff right in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so turn your work. Let me zoom out so you can see what we have so far. Okay, so here we go. That's what we have so far. Okay, so we are just going to continue going back and forth until this part comes to about, pretty much to the end of our foot. Now remember, it is going to stretch a little. See? So I would say maybe do it like a ½ inch smaller, maybe an inch, because it's going to stretch out once it's on your foot. So we're just going to continue working back and forth until you get about let's say an inch from your heel. Okay, and I'll meet you guys right back. Okay guys, I've got my slipper about to where I want it. There's my heel, and so I'm gonna sew that up. Now you see it's not as high up as I wanted because these are bigger stitches. It's not like skipping 3 double crochet. Would have been a lot more narrow. So what we do is we just go around, you know, with a single crochet, half double, whatever. There's lots of things you could do. But or you could leave it like that and put like a little strap across like a Mary Jane. But this is what they look like so far, and I think they look cute. You guys get a close up of my feet. Don't say I don't love you guys, but see how cute that is. And if you don't like the holes, I do, because this is acrylic, and acrylic can make you sweat, so this will allow your feet to breathe. And this is a padded enough stitch that it won't hurt your feet when you walk. You can even go real crazy and do this on a smaller scale with sock yarn and a smaller hook. And like I said, you could even drop down a hook size so you don't have gaps. But I like it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. These are my favorite. I've tried all the different styles, and they hurt my feet for some reason, and I guess it's because they're not very cushioned. Yolanda Soto Lopez, she had a version out where she did it with 2 strands of yarn, and that was comfy. I like that one. But the other ones I've seen, they hurt my feet, and I don't know if it's because I have flat feet, but I lost my hook. I don't know. So we'll try and see how this works out, and who knows, maybe this will hurt my feet too. But it's still cute, right? Isn't that adorable? And you can use all types of yarns, softer yarn. Okay, this is the only thing that's bothering me, because this was worked in the round, one stacked neatly on top of the other, as opposed to here we were working in rows. See that? So they're not neatly stacked on. But once it's on and stretched, you can't see it as much as if you had done it in like half double crochet. It blends in. And you can even put, you know, like a cute little flower here and a Mary Jane strap. There's so much you could do. So we are at the end almost. Okay, so we've gotten about the height that we want it to come up on our foot. Okay, keeping in mind that it will stretch. So all we have to do is turn your work. Let me move the camera and zoom in a little bit. Okay, and we're just going to slip stitch down. Okay, so you can do that. You can sew it also to make it look neat and tidy, but you know, we know I'm lazy and I'll never sew those ends in. So I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna go through both. See? Because I want this is on your feet, you know. You want this to be lasting. You can do a single crochet too, but I'm gonna do a slip stitch. I was completely out of frame. So go into your next, and do a slip stitch. Oh, almost lost him. Go into your next. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, just try to get them as close together as possible, because this is right on your heel. Sorry guys. This yarn. I need some good yarn for tutorials. Like, find out what's the best color, texture, brand. You guys let me know what you think. And if you guys want me to come up with, we can do like a top part of the booty. You know how you've seen the crocodile stitch being used on some slippers? I think that looks cool. And I know how to do the crocodile stitch, so maybe we could do something like that. Make it look like a really cool hybrid UGG. I don't know. Are those even cool anymore? I don't know. I'm 33 and I have no idea what's in fashion. Girl, I just do crochet. Okay, don't forget to get like in here a little more securely, because that's your heel. You're gonna walk on it. Okay, so you could cut it off right now and then reattach your yarn. Let me zoom out. Oh. Okay. So technically it's done, okay? So you could snip your yarn off and be done with it. And let me show you what it looks like inside out. Well, the other way, I gotta cut and sew in. Okay. So that's what we got. That needs to be cut. I think it's cute. Okay. So your yarn is now at the bottom, and you want to push this out too. Push it out so you got your heel. But what I do is I work back up. I work back up in a slip stitch. So I'm back up at the top and I can do a round of single crochet. Half double crochet, double crochet, whatever it is you want to do. You could even do slip stitches all the way around. You can do whatever. I mean, just use your imagination, be creative. Just remember when you come into these spots to maybe do like 2 single crochet in each hole. You know, 1 here, 2 single crochet in the hole, and that's it. So you guys have your cute slipper. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Any suggestions, leave them down below. And I hope you guys enjoy these. Take care. Bye.